Ancients 1 Deathwatch is a first-person turn-based fantasy RPG. You play as a hero who as a child has been saved by the beautiful fairy and delivered magically back to his home. Years later, as an adult, after a lot of traveling and adventuring, you come back to your hometown of Lochleven and instantly become aware of an impending doom, arrival of great evil. You suspect that the fairy that was protecting the town was kidnapped too, so you assemble a band of adventurers and head off to rescue her and save your home. HeroQuest is a direct port of a real-life role-playing game of the same title, and as such follows all the rules of the original almost to the letter, from dungeons through all the enemies that you'll encounter to skills and combat. Spells and gear too are directly digitized from the analog source and thematically fitting. Heck, even the missions are identical to those found in the original. That said, maps are a bit different to those in tabletop games, so even former game masters could play the computer iteration and enjoy it. Megatraveller 2 Quest for the Ancients is a faithful adaptation of the Traveller board RPG with over 100 fully explorable planets, most with multiple cities and tons of quests and non-linear storyline. Your party of adventurers must scour 4 subsectors of the Spineward Marches looking for clues to solve the crisis before the planet of Rilanor is destroyed. And why is it at risk? Well, one of the ancient pyramids belonging to the so-called ancients started spewing slime, and it looks as if it will eventually cover the entire planet, killing all life. Spirit of Adventure is an obscure first-person RPG. A strange drug appears seemingly out of nowhere and spreads around the world uncontrollably, with all leads pointing at the source being a mysterious stranger. It created a huge addiction problem among the population. Your group of 6 adventurers sets on a mission to uncover origins of said drug and find the one responsible for this tragedy. Many of the puzzles and situations in Spirit of Adventure have more than one solution. And interestingly enough, it gender-locked its classes, which is not an unusual choice, but a unique one for the time too. Gateway to the Savage Frontier is an AD&D Forgotten Realms RPG. Your party celebrates a successful escort mission, drinking and eating in the tavern, having fun and enjoying yourself. You do not realize that someone slipped a drug in your food and all of you pass out. Upon awakening, you realize that you've been robbed of nearly everything. So, sadly, you have to start from scratch. With all the riches gone, you're back to square one. While investigating what happened that night, you come across a much bigger and more sinister plot. Death Knights of Krynn is a sequel to Champions of Krynn and allows of carrying on with the same group of adventurers in the world of Dragonlance. Your party's celebration of victory over the Dragon High Lords has been cut short by an arrival of the undead spectre of Sir Carl, a noble knight, former friend who perished in the previous game. What's more, he arrived on an undead dragon. All that leads to your party having to raise arms again and set off to find and destroy Lord Soph, a source of the undead abomination. Pulse of Darkness is set 10 years after the events of Pulse of Radiance, and it is same as all the other Gold Box games, a first-person perspective RPG with tactical top-down view turn-based combat. The city of Flan was magically ripped from its foundations and moved to the underground city of Dark Elves. Citizens were kidnapped and enslaved in service of Callistis, the spider priestess of the god of evil, Bane. And it's up to your party of heroes to defeat the Dark Elves and Arachnoids, rescue the slaves, restore City of Flan, and eventually find and defeat Bane himself. Elvira to the Jaws of Cerberus is a horror RPG and adventure mashup in which you play as her boyfriend, having to save her. She's been captured by the three-headed demon Cerberus that wants to harness her powers. The game is set in a horror movie studio built on an ancient haunted grounds, in which many of the movie props were mystically turned into monsters. Elvira's 2 magic system called for use of specific items to cast spells, be it made of glass, wood, liquids, or whatever else, and all these could be items picked throughout the game as long as they fill the criteria. Ultima Worlds of Adventure 2 Martian Dreams is built on Ultima 6 engine and works roughly the same. It is however a very original title, with more emphasis put on adventure than on RPG. It's a Jules Verne-inspired Victorian-themed sci-fi tale. The rocket with 19th century scientific celebrities is accidentally launched towards Mars, and you're a part of a rescue team sent after. As a result, you'll meet many of the famous at the time scientists and people of culture, and you'll love how much research went into creating this and how detailed and fitting conversations with them are. Planet's Edge: The Point of No Return is a spectacular sci-fi space-themed RPG. It starts innocently with the alien craft entering our solar system, but when it's accidentally fired upon, however, it envelops the Earth in a strange field and disappears along with it without trace. The only thing that's left is Moon, and our moon base scrapes the little resources they have to send a ship with 4 specialists to search for and recover Earth. Planet's Edge features what best games in a subgenre do. So, exploration, mining, combat, trading, diplomacy, research, and even some puzzling for good measure too. Eye of the Beholder is the first game in the trilogy of first-person perspective RPGs set in the D&D universe. An evil was born under the city of Waterdeep and grew in strength over time. The Lords of Waterdeep summoned a group of heroes, your group, to investigate and deal with the situation if possible. Someone was eavesdropping on the meeting, however, and as soon as our group enters the sewers, the ceiling behind them collapses, trapping them in, with only one way out, deeper into the dungeon filled with secret puzzles, traps and worst of all, monsters. Eye of the Beholder 2, The Legend of Darkmoon, is the second and arguably the best RPG in the trilogy. At start, you can create a new party or import your own from the previous game. After slaying the Beholder Xanatar in the first title, you're summoned to Waterdeep once more. Strange happenings have been plaguing the Temple of Darkmoon and surrounding forests. People have been disappearing, and shallow, unnamed graves containing fresh human remains started appearing everywhere. Someone has to investigate, and that someone is you. If you liked the video, hit those like and subscribe buttons below, and maybe share it too. It helps more than you know. If you didn't, then don't naturally. It was fun talking to you as usual, and I'll see you, or more accurately, talk to you very soon.